Okay, so does that make sense what I was saying before about the, who goes first, the whole notion that, in fact, the whole thing that you're doing is, the ideas, the concepts that you're trying to build up, or at least showing them the territory of their minds, the consequence of that, the way it's evaluated whether it's useful, as you're saying, you're going to be speaking to the teachers, is seeing if actually the kids themselves are influencing the social dynamics of the class, because that's the medium. uh, you know, the thoughts, you can kind of examine, you can test them individually. But I really think that the consequence of how does that resonate with you? The consequence of their engagement with you is that their dynamics socially are better. Does that make sense?
It will if you explain it a bit more.
Well, I mean, specifically when I was talking about the activity board, who gets to go first? And at the beginning, they're wanting you. They'll just say me, and then they want you to choose. No, I'm not going to choose. You guys choose who's going to go first. And you sit back and you watch them. And after a little while, you might say, look, okay, I'll give you 30 seconds for somebody to decide. And they start learning how to be able to do that. And that's to do with evaluation and judgment. And it's a practical example of what you guys are teaching them about in metaphors with value trains and stories and so on and so forth. But there they are in their social group, implementing effectively how do they evaluate and order themselves so that they can perform functionally as a social group. Do you see? It's an immersed experience of what it is that you're trying to talk about. You're talking about it and you're showing up mirrors, that's the metaphors and so on and so forth, for them to reflect on their own minds and how they're thinking of words and so on and so forth. But the actual implementation is in the class with the other kids.
Yeah, it's tying it back to the value that now makes sense.
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Right, okay.
So, a thought came into my mind there. Let me just dredge it up from the intuitive and try to bring it into the rational to speak about it. It was to do with the situation just not working. They're not making the connection. It could manifest in different ways, but it's that messy, yucky thing where the instinct is just to step in and interfere and bring order to chaos, which I know I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But what do I need to do to create that shift of consciousness in them from chaos to order? And those are not the right terms, and I'm not using them in a way that is balanced with my intuition. It goes beyond, in a way that goes beyond duality to unity, beyond bifurcation to integration. Think about that. Hold on, let me write it down because that was good.
Yeah. I should have been sorry, I should have been writing that down. Sorry. So that's kind of what you're wanting, which means that the kids are used to constantly adults just constantly pushing them into order, constantly pushing them into order, constantly trying to get them to get into order because that's where the adults live. Adults live in a very ordered world. Everything's ordered, which is dull. And so the kids are, either wanting that and going towards it, and these kids that you're teaching primary school, that's kind of what they want. And then some kids start going, no, actually, no, I don't like the order in this. I don't like this thing. And then they start kicking back. So to find a sweet spot where effectively it's not ordered like the adults have it, and not chaotic like if you leave a bunch of kids to on an island together, start chopping each other up. There's a sweet spot, and that sweet spot can be found with your assistance, and you have to be, as I say, confident in your space about. No, it's a bit messy.